Welcome to another broadcast of The Competitive Edge. And today we're going to be having a pretty interesting and dynamic conversation as we do that deep dive into habits and money. Today we're going to be looking at habits and money from three different standpoints. One, we will be examining the benefits of earned income, the benefits of passive income, and the benefits of investment income. Today, with me in studio to support in the conversation, we have Frank, who is an economist by profession. He is also a John Maxwell leader. We also have Shivani, and Shivani is a project management specialist. We also have Peter, but just before I come to Peter, Shivani, she also has a background at UWI, and she has functioned in many leadership positions. We have Peter. Peter is a specialist in dealing with master planning, and we have our good colleague here, which is Paul. And Paul is all the way at the airport this morning, taking a flight to lay a foundation for his brand. So we have these four dynamic personnel. We should be having Elmore, who is going to be joining us a little later in the program, and he's a specialist in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do, I will ask each party to at least talk within a minute. Within a minute is to give a short introduction of yourself before we do that deep dive into today's program titled Habits and Money. I'm going to start with Frank.
Hi, good morning all. I am Claremont Frank, a leadership development strategist, economist, and we're just here to make sure that you have the gist of um, making yourself more viable in your line of business, increasing that income, whether it be investment, whether it be passive income, and to share with you today habits and financial management.
All right, thanks for that share, Frank. I'm going to come now to Paul Whitehouse. Paul, can you talk to us a little bit about financial instruments and a little bit about yourself? Just introduce yourself so we know who you are. And can you talk to us a little bit about financial instruments?
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Yeah,
morning, my friend.
Paul Whitehouse, one of the owners of Patriot Business Finance Consultants, and things that we can provide for you are capital for your business under the best terms, conditions, and lowest cost of money. That's our specialty right there. So there's equipment financing, real estate financing, cash flow programs, capital raises for your business, Securities Exchange Commission compliant capital raises. We have partners to do that, and they do it the best way. They maximize debt, minimize equity. That's the subject to go into, but that's the way to do it so you keep control of your company. And Business Finance Consultants Program, we've partnered with High Net Worth Investors Guide and Bestsellers Portal to work with 100 business finance consultants. If you want to do it, contact us. No experience needed. All you need to do is want to do it, and we'll teach you how to sell money. And that's a high-paying career. And, yeah, so looking forward to working with everybody.
All right, thanks for that share, Paul, and safe journey on your flight. All right, you just heard it. If you are in 50 states in the U.S. and you need access to capital, you can reach out to us. Along with that, if you're living in any of the 50 states and you want to learn how to become a business finance consultant, I do encourage you to reach out to us and right now, and we will be happy to walk you through that process to show you how you can benefit from this program financially and in so many other ways. So I want to come now to Shivani. Shivani, can you give us a short introduction of yourself?
Thanks, Gary. Always a pleasure to be here on a morning, bright and early,
Always
right?
always a pleasure having you.
So, project management can assist us to make us more strategic, whether you're in business, whether it's for your personal, whether in any area of your life. Helps us to be more strategic and, of course, how to become more tactical. Many persons, there are so many different challenges that we have, and we are looking to see, do you have any concepts that can actually solve it? Project management can. It helps us to be, as we said, more strategic and definitely more tactical. You can even take a lot of the project management mindset thinking and look at it in operational work as well. So that's who I am, Shivani Sinarain. I preach everything on the project management.
All right, thanks for that share, Shivani. And Peter?
Yes, we are so much appreciative of the individuals who are joining us. Welcome to the Competitive Edge. My name is Peter Richard Gus Scott. My focus, is to help individuals to transcribe their life story into books, courses um, that can be done, used to advance their profession, their career, and we do it through a process called the Legacy Chronicles Human Growth Program. In order to do that, what we assist individuals to do is to create a master plan of their life from the very day they were born to where they are now, and we use that information to build out a walkthrough to where they want to go at the end of their lives. And that's Peter Scott. That's me.
All right, thanks for that share, Peter. Elmore, how are you? Great to have you. It's been a while now. But can you take a minute and just introduce yourself so the general public has an idea who you are?
Certainly. Thank you for having me. My name is Elnar, and I'm also known in the cryptocurrency space as Crypto E. I'm founder of CEO EIL Consulting, dealing with specific areas of emerging tech like AI, cryptocurrency, and Web3. Um, I am very, very excited to be here and be able to uh, learn from you and be able to share some of my findings with the community, and I'm very appreciative to be able to be here today.
All right. Well, I must say it's definitely a pleasure to have you here. Based on the fact that you have a background in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I would love to hear, some of your thoughts on how that platform can be shared as a smart investment and portfolio, and how we mitigate risk in that investment space. So we'll come back to that shortly. But to get to this program started, there's three questions that I want us to consider. But just before I repeat those questions, I want to just lay some groundwork or background to give some context to our conversation today. And I'm taking some data from the United Nations. Now, what is seen is that nearly 2.8 billion people live on $2 per day. That is what is stated from the UN. We have about 1 billion that are living on $1 per day. We have about 4.4 billion people living on $10 per day. And what is stated is that about half the global population live on less than 6.85 US dollars per day. Now, I want us to examine some of this in the context of the three questions that I will table. What is the importance of earned income? I want us to look at the importance first before we move on to look at perhaps some of the disadvantage. And I just want to throw some nuggets out there. I do believe that earned income means that you're gainfully employed. and that, in a sense, provides some degree of uh, job security. I do believe that the job security, by extension, leads to income security. And I do believe also that income security also leads to the possibility and opportunity for you to engage in savings and possibly investment. But that's my view. From your vantage points, what are the advantages of or the importance of earned income? Let me start with Shivani.
Okay, so very, very, very important that you must have income, earn income. If you don't have, money, how could you be able to do anything? So we may say, how do you gain the earnings? How do you gain the earnings? A lot of persons may have a job, and that's how you are getting the earnings. Is it enough to suit the lifestyle? Just like a quick off topic, in order to, suit the particular lifestyle that you're living, or you may want a lifestyle and you really can't get it with your earnings, and you just got accustomed to doing it. What about if the organization too, let's say, didn't pay you on time because they're going through a financial crisis, right? I mean, it could happen. I've seen organizations, that was a part of something like that, and you are dependent on your earnings. What would you do? So, very important for us is to be able to understand different ways of getting income. And you mentioned whether it was passive income and investment income.
Yeah, we're gonna come to passive and investment just now, but I just want us to examine some of the importance that you have seen with earned income. We're gonna come to the rest shortly.
So, definitely earnings and being able to work. Is it enough? Right? Is it really enough to survive in the world and to really cover your lifestyle?
Yeah, well, I think lifestyle in of itself will influence if it's enough or not. But
Then
I love it. Mhm.
I may say that I have a lifestyle that I want to live, but I can't live it because of the earnings. So that's where
Mhm.
you have to make some kind of decision. So I just wanted to put another spin on it. Yes, you go to your job 8 to 4, but if the organization is not paying you on time, what will the individual then do at that point? And I've seen
Yeah.
organizations that have occurred.
Okay. Well, we're gonna explore some of the alternative that can be done shortly. But I love that. So I'm gonna come right back to you, Shivani. Frank, same questions. What is the importance, is or are the importance of earned income from your perspective?
With earned income, and that's dependent on the income that you receive. That you can have savings for rainy times. With earned income, you can afford travel with your family. We call entertainment. With earned income, you can have a better lifestyle. And I want to talk a spin on what Shivani did because, from my personal experience, sometimes the earned income stops. What do you do then? Who can you fall back on? Do you have enough in savings? And so you think about it, it's good to have earned income, but I don't want to go ahead with the other forms of income just yet.
Yeah,
So I just
we're
continue.
gonna come. Yeah, we're gonna come to that just now. And I think both yourself and Shivani hinted on it, and you've alluded to it. It's vital to have earned income. I think it gives you that sense of independence because you're now earning. You're not dependent on, family and friends and and loved ones because you're able now to stand on your feet. I think for most men, that in itself is something that helps them to feel as though they're a man because they're able to, take care of themselves and loved ones and family. So I'm gonna come now to El. I'm gonna come now to Paul. Paul, are you there? All right, I'm gonna come over to Elmore because I know Paul is at the airport. He may be a little engaged at the moment. Elmore, same
Yes,
question.
I think
How?
they.
Go ahead.
No, so your question is how important is earned income?
Earn income, yeah, from for your point of view.
Yes. So having earned income, it's a uh, if you have not acquire or put yourself in a position or come from a family that put you in a position that you can, maintain a lifestyle out of the passive income, earned income becomes a stepping stool to be able to achieve your financial freedom, but you must be super disciplined doing so. And the reason why I say this is because you have to, like you were saying, there's many people around the world that live with literally less than $3 a day. But when you're able to earn income, now you have a decision to make whether if you want to go earn income by hourly rate by helping someone else's dream, or are you going to be doing it uh, to earn income and to make sure that you're able to keep on maintaining that earned income on your own as a solopreneur or as a project manager helper. It's become super important in that area to be able to move forward and to keep on going in your stepping stone. It does not necessarily mean that you're going to have the lifestyle that you want, but you definitely are able to start to work towards your dream.
All right. Thanks for that share, Elmore, and I do agree with you. Um, a funny way of putting it, I do believe that earn income, it's a way of really earning your manhood. It's a way of earning your womanhood. I'm just being, a bit humorous here, but I do believe it plays a lot into self-confidence, in yourself, that you have worked hard in studies, and now you're part, of the productive sector, and you have benefits, of your labor. I'm going to come to Peter, and then I'm going to come right back to Shivani because Shivani hinted on a couple of things, the inadequacy of income. The inadequacy can be viewed from so many different standpoints. So what's next? And what next could be passive income. So I'm going to give Shivani to first go at looking at how passive income can perhaps supplement some of the perceived limitation of earned income, though that's subjective. Peter, how important is earned income to you?
It's very important because we need a workforce. You know, the individuals who enterprises, whether it is government or the private sector, or even the small business person who has exhausted his ability to service his own customers. You need somebody who's going to go get a job and earn income. If we don't have earned income, the society is going to there's going to be lapses in the society in the economy. So earned income, and we all start there. Most of us, I would should say, I guess I would say 99% of the populace start there. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to build disciplines, to know how to handle oneself later on, because I think there's a famous scripture that says that if you do not know how to handle your own business, or you're going to handle somebody else's. So the earned income, the place of earned income is very, very critical to a growing economy.
All right, thanks for that share, Peter. So we have first established that it doesn't pay us to be lazy. It's important to get up and work and put yourself in that position of strength where you can earn and become a productive member of society. So all that was said, clearly established that there is so much of importance to earn income. I think Frank would have hinted with earn income, you can save And with the ability to save, you can invest. With the ability to invest, you can make great things happen. But I want to come back to Shivani. Shivani was making some strong points, um, and I think that the points that she was making is valid in over 80% of the cases, because what we have seen is that 80% of the workforce, um, based on inflation that is taking place globally, earning tends not to be enough. But I want to also say this, that financial intelligence plays a very important role in the whole equation of what we call the inadequacies of income, because you find that two persons can be having the same income, but one understands financial intelligence and the other does not. And the one that understands financial intelligence, he or she knows how to maneuver the financial landscape to come closer and closer to financial independence. While on the other side, the other individual, they just continue to go through a cycle of that paycheck to paycheck cycle. So mindset and financial intelligence plays an important role here. The other disclaimer I want to say is that getting to financial independence also is not dependent on only how much you earn. It's also reflected in how much you are able to keep and possibly invest, how much you're able to save and invest. And we know different circumstances may influence different outcome. But Shivani, I want you to chime into this. I want you to speak now from the perspective of how passive income can perhaps supplement the inadequacy of earned income that you were alluding to early on. You're Mitch Shivani.
Thanks a lot. You mentioned financial intelligence, and I just want to look at that word first, financial intelligence. How important that is. As you mentioned that word, it triggered in my mind so many conversations that I had with my internal team, external people, all different, right? And, persons will they may look at Frank. We always talking about Frank and its ties, right? And think that Frank is, well, how Frank could get this and how Frank could do that. And I working for the same thing like Frank, but I can't, and I can't. So the first thing is to understand financial intelligence. And as you said, it's your mindset. So project management, again, really helps the individual to know what you want and what is the outcome. And this is where so you as an individual, you need to create a financial intelligence project for yourself. That's what I told people. Now I'll fancy it up with your word, right? Financial intelligence when I'm speaking now. So thanks for that, Gary, right? Financial
Sure.
intelligence project. Passive income. So persons are not earning enough because they want something else. That's your lifestyle. You want something more. You don't know what you want. You're looking at Frank, you're looking at somebody, and you find that you should get it too. By all means, why not? Passive income is one way that is that could be perfect. All right. I remember this conversation with a member of my team, right, when I'm working. She's retired now, and she's telling me, Shivani, what I should do. This money is not enough. Now she was looking at me to, promote her, right? Because that you remember that's a thinking when you're in an organization. In the organization, I'll get promoted and I'll earn a little more. And that is like Frank will say, your leadership, not even leadership, but that's the thinking when you go into organizations. But I tell people, yeah, I don't really agree totally with that, right? Don't only think that you have to get promoted because that's how organizations allow people to think. Come, do a course, and you might get promoted on seniority and all those things from these type of organizations. It's a type of thinking. However, are you going to wait for that? Are you going to wait to get promoted? But probably you're going to retire. You're almost 60 years, and then, all right, you get a little N, so to speak. Yeah, so
I love that. I love that. Shivani, I love what you're saying there, because I think that the majority of people, they're waiting on that promotion to get that increase in salary instead of looking at creative ways of boosting their income. I love that. So do continue there, Shivani.
So the passive income, what I was telling her, I said, you have to look at what skills you have. What skills you have. So I want you to forget about the promotion for 1 minute. Because chances are you're going to get it. She got the promotion, but she got it late when she's going to retire. So I was telling her, I said, because they had to wait on seniority there. I said, so Frank, I use in Frank name. I said, so Frank, if you were waiting all the time for this, right, you couldn't have done now something, right? No, because you have to live in the present. And Frank will understand, and Peter this very well, and Elmer because he's into crypto as well. You need now. You need now, and that's how I live. I want it now. I cannot wait for 20 years. So any investment you give in me, Gary, I want it now. I can't
No,
see that. So you have to
I
know me,
like,
the client. So
yeah,
passive income. I told her she was a very good baker. I said, you could bake cakes. And she baked cakes and she started to sell. And she has it's a very, very nice establishment that she has. So she didn't even have to wait for retirement to set up the business. Her thinking was that was her thinking. When I retire, I will do this thing. I said, Frank, you'll get old by then, you're tired. You really have that thinking. Yes, we all say that you will be healthy and you're working good and mental fitness and all of that. But that will always be. And
I
even if
like,
you're doing well. So
yeah,
look at passive income that will help you for now. For now.
good.
I'm speaking like this, Gary, because I find all the time, and I'm in environments where I see this a lot with people. They complain and they complain and they complain that they don't have enough to spend. The organization not giving me enough. So I tell them, change your mindset, right? And these are people that I supervise as well. So
Yeah,
that's just my take,
yeah,
on it so far.
yeah. Shivani, you're right. I think that a lot of people are stuck in the problem zone. They know where they are. They're not comfortable. They see a problem, but they're stuck in that problem zone for many reasons. They do not fully understand financial intelligence. I'm going to come to Frank and then I'm going to come back to Peter. Sorry, I'm going to come back to Elmore and then to Peter. Frank, what is your take on the importance of passive income? I mean, you are an educator. One way to generate passive income might be to digitize your learning content. And you just leave it out there. You market it, and the public can go to it. How important is this in the equation of boosting up your income source?
One of the things that I've always remembered was a few years ago, I was listening to a professor who spoke on streams of income. Streams of income. And what he said in his delivery is that he always tried to attain 7 streams of income, meaning that he has income from like about 7 different um, places, spheres. And it resonated with me. And I looked at myself and I'm like, okay, streams of income. I got a job. I have some shares. I have whatever I have, which will bring income to me, will not just make my savings increase, it will give me a better lifestyle. I'm not saying for 1 minute that because you have these several streams of income, everything is hunky dory. But we got to realize, and this will come to financial intelligence, one has got to really take into consideration um, how they use the streams of income. And those streams of income can be good, it can be overused. When we talk about financial intelligence, what we're saying, it gives the tools that will make informed decisions about your money or your streams of income. And that's what we need to have. And I think that's what our program is all about, teaching you not just the various streams of income, whether it be investment income, passive, whatever passive income, but how do you maintain the income? How do you see it, not for just your generation, but going on to generation and generation? So,
So it's building generational wealth. All right.
generation.
Well, thanks for that share, Frank. We're going to come to some juicy parts us now because this side is a little bit more controlled. The next half is going to be less controlled than it is now. But I want to come to Elmore. Um, I know you are in the cryptocurrency Bitcoin space. Um, in today's world, talking about passive cash flow is an essential part of our efforts to embrace a quality lifestyle. How do you see the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency playing into a safe investment portfolio in the context of passive income?
So, in the context of passive income, you have right now going on, what is considered or and called as airdrops. This is something that it's very fast catching on. You have to be very fast on keeping up with the projects that are coming on right now that are providing that sort of opportunity for liquidity. But this is something that you are now able to in the space by being. You literally have to be obviously connected within the people in the space. So you to be able to gain access to multiple airdrops, that this is a way that it's literally you're able to create passive income in a very fast manner. But you have to be ready to go in order to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. And so then just in that one area right now that's essentially exploding, because since the market right now it's in developing mode. There is so many projects that are having second-hand projects that are coming off of them that are able to provide the already community involved, first-hand access, and this is where that word of airdrop comes into. And so you are literally, for example, and to make it super quick, Solana came out with their own cell phone. They sold out automatically when they came on, but the cell phone was anywhere from, I think it was like 600 US. But when you gain access to the cell phone came already with over 600 US worth of cryptocurrency tokens inside of the phone already, because the phone comes out of its own line through the Helium network, and it's able it's all coming all full circle to where the whole entire cryptocurrency space itself, it's now developing different arenas within the a traditional market. So there is many opportunities going on, super fast opportunities. These opportunities, I mean, I could tell you guys, from experience, we are crashing into opportunities that literally have 24-hour turnaround. We have opportunities that are probably like maybe 48, 72 hours at most, but you have to be able to be there. You have to be able to take action, and it has to do with having that strong community, so that you are able to share this information, and you're able to let everyone else know within your circle, like, hey, this is something that's coming in new. We literally have hours to do our research on this, but this is what the background is, and we're able to make a conscious smart decision, knowing that you are going to be able to essentially make your funds back and more, in a small amount
Short
of
period of
time. And
time.
so this
Mhm.
this in a short period of time. So this is actually something that it's happening quite fast. I am myself involved in a few of these airdrops that are coming in through different networks. And when I mean networks, I mean different blockchains, and so to be able to make it into the traditional understanding, a blockchain or a network is essentially like we have the network for Pepsi, and we have the network for Coca-Cola. But they're both companies that pretty much come out of the same place, but they are able to reach their audience in two complete different manners. Obviously, we know that Coca-Cola does it way better than Pepsi at reaching their customers, but this is exactly how this cryptocurrency space is working right now. It's just you have to be in the know, you have to become part of the communities so that you can start taking advantage of essentially free money that is being displaced at the table for people that are aware to take advantage of. It's actually quite an amazing thing that's going on right at this moment as we're speaking in 2024.
All right, thanks for that share, Elmore. And there's
Thank you.
so much of communities out there today with in the crypto currency space. I think recently a group representing Elon Musk, I think, would have invited me into the group. I have joined the group, but not spent enough time to really, get soaked up into all that is happening. Um, However, I love some of the points that you would have made. The cash flow turnaround time in the space, the cryptocurrency Bitcoin can be 24 hours, 48 hours, or 72 hours. And I think that's a very fast pace. What we will have to do is to perhaps dedicate a program to you where we can do that deep dive into your platform to really unlock a lot of issues in relation to your platform. Some of the things that I just want to hint you that I would love for us to discuss is the SEC and how it is influencing the cryptocurrency space. I would want us to look at, uh, of course, risk mitigation strategies and the tremendous benefits that the public can get from the space once you know what you're getting into, how to mitigate it, what are all those financial gains, and how they can position themselves to benefit from it. So there's a whole lot for us to talk about in that particular space. But I want to thank you for the information that you have shared so far. Now, I have one more question, and we're going to be looking at investment platform. But just before I come to investment, the importance of investment in the life of people across the world, based on the statistics I would have established early on. Um, After that question, we're going to have some open discussion on a whole lot of things that I know that you want to have open discussion on. Um, and I know a lot of the Shabani was hinting on some of that already, but we're going to go there just now. Peter, all to you. How important is passive income in your perspective? You're mute, Peter.
Right. All right. So the Shivan mentioned it quite a few times concerning individuals. We're looking at their lifestyle. So we're saying that the best place, the economy is built upon earned income. That's where most people, 99% of the everyone in the marketplace starts with earned income. But yes, nobody is going to pay you what you're fully worth. So individuals must understand what they bring to the table. And so what we would encourage individuals to do is to look at their value, to understand what it is that they have in their hand. This is where the master planning is very important, because when you're able to take a bird's eye view on yourself while you're doing the earned income, and we're not pushing anyone to say give up earned income, and it's creating a bad view where earned income is concerned. It's like Frank mentioned that there was this speech that he heard that there is seven streams. He want to set up individual want to set up seven streams of income, and that is what we're saying here, is that keep your earned income. If it is good enough, keep it, because all is not. And then again, sometimes you can be in places where the benefits outweighs even just the income that you're getting. So what we're saying is to gain financial intelligence, have that plan, create before we jump to the next thing that an individual wants to do, is to create that plan. Look at your life, look at the end of your life, come back to where you are today, look at the skill sets that you do have, and see how you can begin to put things in place. Whatever those things are, get somebody who can coach you or get some consultation in what you can do to maximize what you already have to the degree when those incomes are generating, then you perhaps one day can say, okay, what you're having from those other streams of passive income, you don't have to do the earned income anymore. So it all is going to depend upon having a plan, having a strategy, strategizing constantly how you can move away from laboring, selling your time for money. And that's is what
Mhm.
it's what that's the key place to be, where you stop selling your time for money and know you have money coming to you that you do not have to be working for.
All right. Thanks for that share, Peter. One of the things that we have spoken about often on this program is the importance of doing your income audit analytics. The majority of people are fully aware that your earned income is not enough. All right. But in spite of the fact that you know this, as like Shivani would have hinted, you know this, but you're anticipating that promotion that may never come. And you're hoping against hope that it's going to come. So instead of just hoping, I do believe that you need to take some of what Peter would have said: action, get a mentor, get a coach, get a sponsor, get into a support community that can help you make better um, financial and life decision. All right, better financial and life decision. I want to come now to the last question, before we open up to have some, general conversation on this matter. Is investment? How important is investment in the equation of, financial intelligence? And let me just quickly say this. I think the majority of people who earn, who might be able to save, they hardly ever invest. Based on the research that we are doing, it is showing that less than 25% of the global population has a smart investment portfolio. Less than 25%. All right. And that is definitely worrying. Financial intelligence, I believe, can eradicate poverty in the world. That's my genuine, view of this. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of investment. And I'm going to start with Frank. We talk a bit about this. They have so many different forms of investment portfolios. There's stocks, there's bonds, there's mutual funds, there's hedge funds, there's ETF, exchange trade funds, there is, real estate investment trust, there's Bitcoin, there's cryptocurrency. How important is this in the equation of supplementing earned income? How important is this? What are you, Frank?
All right. I think it's very important. Um, Today, many people are turning to investments to, in an effort to grow wealth. When you ask the question, what exactly are the reasons behind this, and how can investing improve your personal finances? The thing about investment is there's some advantages to it. The first thing is it grows wealth because ultimately the key goal of investing is to not only preserve but grow your wealth, whether it be in the short term or long term. And you do that by strategically placing your money in various assets. You talk about stocks, we have bonds. Um, Today we know seeing more than ever the art market. You can begin to grow your income, and this over time can lead to a significant profit. Another thing is that it provides regular income. You see, there's a plethora or range of different options that can provide someone with regular income. And it can come in various forms, whether it be capital gains, interests, dividends. When we talk about passive income, for example, your rental income. So investing for income can give a great way to access a steady cash flow. So it meaning that you wouldn't need to rely on just your savings, but there are so many other things that you can have. If you have that, you can also plan for your retirement. Like in my case, I have a few months more. But when you're reaching the end of your career or your work life, but it's just begun, one needs to plan for retirement, and it can ensure that you're comfortable as you get older. Um, and you, Gary, would know more than anyone else, diversifying your portfolio. One of the key benefits of investing is that you can put your money in a wide range of asset classes. And that is basically known as diversification, and it's a great way to minimize risk. It means that if one option underperforms, others could potentially compensate. And it's essentially a safety net against potential financial setbacks. You
Okay.
also need to lastly combine your passion with financial growth. Many people find finance a boring topic. I do, but it doesn't have to be. So instead of opting for traditional options such as stocks or equity shares, you can choose to invest in something you love. You love. Shivani had once talked about what is it that you love doing? What do you find joy in doing? Do you like cooking? And this is one way in which you can put passion into it so that you can grow financially.
All right. Thanks for that share. Thanks for that share, Frank. You have made a number of points. Diversify investment portfolio. Just to add a little bit to that, I think that the way you do it is perhaps you put 70% of your investment into a low risk investment portfolio, and perhaps between 20 to 30% you put into perhaps the high risk. The reason why is that low risk investment portfolio is going to give you lower dividend yield. The high risk investment portfolio are going to give you a significant higher return. But this is not investment advised. At the right time, we're going to get into investment advice. So, as to help you to make better business decisions today, is just to at least open your ideas into what is possible. You may be stuck, as Shivani said, with your single source of income. You want a certain lifestyle, and you know for a fact that your single source of income is not able to give you that, but you're stuck. How do you break through this? Passive income, smart investment decision. I want to come now to Shivani and then over to Elmore. Shivani, in your context, how important is investment in the equation of living that quality lifestyle that you think, you know, people are deserving of? How important is investment? I know in the US, all the instrument I talk about, it exists. You have the 401k, you have so much more. Um, but let's talk about your thoughts on this, and then we're going to look at what I might want to say knowledge and limited avenues to make a smart investment. But all to you, Shivani. You're mute, Shivani.
Definitely persons don't know, right? And a lot of times people just don't know. They just don't know what to do because they're stuck in organizations, and the only thing that they know about is that I have to keep moving, or I'm, for seniority, and then eventually I'll get some more money with the hope that I'll get some more money, and that's all you know, right? That's all you know. So to me, and personally, I didn't really know a lot about investments. I don't know really about these different financial instruments that you can do. But knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. So when you could only make decisions about how to invest if you know it. And this is where you have to reach out to people. You have to look at your community. You mentioned the word coach, you mentioned the word mentor. Excellent words. Get with persons who can teach you. As I said, I really, really did know it about 5 years ago on the power of different types of investments. Of course, I knew it in terms of I don't want to just that's just not my earnings that I'll live off of. I needed to have different ways to make money, as we say, but you didn't know how to do it. And especially now, it's really an evolving. Everything is evolving. And you hearing about crypto. You said you're hearing about all these different financial instruments that you could do, and what you're speaking about with the BFCs and investment and in equity and all of that. So you don't know until you know. You don't know until you know. And how do you know? Is by getting the information. And project management will preach that, right? You need to get information to make proper decisions. So there are many different types of investments. Um, but personally, when I look at investments, I mean, it's just probably me as an individual. I don't look at investments for long term. I look at investments for short terms because I want the money now, and probably I'll take that money and then invest into something else, and probably do businesses and etc. etc. But I personally am not an individual that if you come to me with long term investments, that will work for me. You have to come to me and tell me, hey, Shivani, within the next 6 months, or you might say within the next month, I could get money out of what I have invested in. So it comes down again to understanding the client and a lot to do with stakeholder management. Again, a very key area of project management. How do you understand what you want, and asking people, hey, what do you want? Because people don't know what they want as well. Huh? They may just look at people and say,
Yeah.
hey, I want the BMW, you driving the Audi, and I want that, which could work. That's great. But investment decisions, you need to become more knowledgeable. Set up with people that can guide you properly. The information is there. As you said, this is a platform for it. You get a lot of knowledge. Persons that I've shared this platform with and shared these things, it's really good things you're talking about here. So this is one way that you could get it. I know you also speak about getting a personal coach. Personal coach helps you to get that knowledge and guide, and not really tell you what to do, because the coach, as Frank will say, guides you. It facilitates the process, because if you use the coach element with me, you'll realize you can't tell me about long term. I want short term. I want the money now. you know so
Yeah.
just a couple points
All
on
right.
investment.
Yeah. Thanks for that share, Shivani. You've made a number of important points. I just want to add a little bit to what you would have said. Um, I do believe that the platform indeed is to open people ideas to what is possible. And as time progresses, we're going to go more deeper into each concept. But for now, we're given high level overviews. And of course, I love what you also said, that you're the type of investor that want short-term gain as against the long-term platforms. And they are long-term investment portfolios that gives you short-term gains, meaning that you're able to take out benefits on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, but you have long-term invested interest in those portfolios. As time progresses, we will definitely go deeper into those concepts so as to ensure that the public have more information about what is being said. You've made a number of other important points, great point. But I want to come to Elmore. Elmore is a specialist in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space. And I would love for you to talk to us about what it looks like to become an investor in the platform. Later on, we're going to look at risk and advantages, disadvantages, but help us to understand the face of investing in the Bitcoin crypto currency space. What has that experience been like for you?
Certainly. So yeah. So actually, I have been in the space since 2016, when I first was able to purchase my first piece of Bitcoin. So this is something that I feel it is for me. I am a position trader, and when
Uh, uh, and more, not cutting you. I know you have also just written a book on the cryptocurrency space.
yes, I was about to get into that.
All
Yes.
right, how do you go ahead?
Yes, no, no problem. So yeah, so in like I have a book here that I've recently here launched. It's called Crypto 101: Understanding the Future of Money. And I think that when it comes to doing the investment area for the blockchain and or for the regular traditional space, one thing that we all must come to an understanding is where is the whole entire space moving to, because we are now having the conversation between, oh, we still have the traditional space and all of these things that we can get involved in, and now we have cryptocurrency, and many individuals still lack the information that the whole entire traditional market was transferred over to the blockchain last year. And so, what we need to prepare for, I feel, is having the understanding that your whole entire financial life is going to take a switch, and you must be prepared for this switch. And once you are prepared for the switch that's going to be taking place from having your traditional banking with the fiat based currencies moving over to the digital central currencies, now we have a completely new environment that we need to take advantage of and to acknowledge, because we are in the midst of the biggest wealth transfer ever to take place in humankind. And I think that this is just the one piece that it's must be understood in order for people to not look at the space as, oh, where this is a new investment class. Well, yes, we do have a new investment class, but this class that is coming in, it's going to switch everything that we know of as traditional market today. Everything is going to switch, and so the switch has already been taking place since March of last year. If you look this up, is by the ISO 2200, sorry, 20022, and you're able to kind of already see that this is the way that the old financial system that was on the Swift network is switching over to the blockchain. And so having this piece of knowledge, it becomes very powerful for one to take advantage of why is there so many different spaces we could get in, and which spaces are the ones that would not just help us make the fast money, like I would call that scalping, or if you want to, position yourself so that you can help not yourself into creating fast income or passive money, but you're able to help your generations coming forward. And so this is a unique moment in the history of the world, to where many lack the information that we have already switched over. Our whole entire financial system that we know of today is already been switched over to the blockchain, and people still don't understand how this is going to work. And so I think, getting a little hand on my a hold of my little book that is coming out here, and understanding, and obviously getting involved, by listening to so the things that I'm putting out on social media, and all the information that I'm providing through different, or through here, through being in a Telegram group with the other groups that I'm involved in, and to be able to work with the academies that I work with as an educator in this space, to be able to do the same thing that I want to do for the whole entire world, which is to give them the understanding that this is not just a space that we can take full advantage of, but this is a space that we are transitioning into. This is going to become the norm, and understanding this space now is going to give you a huge leap advantage in being able to not just make extra for you, but to be able to position your whole entire family moving on forward. There's many big changes because I remember you mentioned something about the SEC, and I would love to talk about that, and I would love to talk about the ETFs that were just approved, and that will take me a little bit more time to dig into,
Yeah,
but
we'll set up a
this is
special
something that
program.
is,
I know there's a lot to
yeah,
say.
it's yeah, it's a whole lot that I have to say, but we need to
Yeah,
become to that understanding so that we are able to, take this into notification that, okay, we're moving forward from here. This is going to be the new norm, and so we must start to understand our privacy within this space because this has become super important. Right now, I'm taking a look at the US marketplace, and most institutions, banking institutions, they do not want to lose control because this is the only negative aspect of it is that banking institutions will lose control, but the only way that they're able to maintain control is by providing custodial services. Now, I want to let you guys into something. When you are having your bank account right now, you are able to go and put your funds in and you're able to withdraw them with ease for now. But now you have to take in consideration that this new money that's coming in, it is a cryptid, it's encrypted money, and so therefore there is a public key that comes attached to this money, that if you are not the sole proprietor owner of that, essentially the funds are not yours. So something to understand that when you come over to a space that is meant for the individual to become empowered and to be able to have sovereign control over their own financial life, which it becomes kind of scary for people that don't have financial background. But this one fact is what we need to understand to be able to push forward and to become more embracing of what's
uh,
going to
the
take place so
changes.
that we could take advantage.
Yeah. But you're at the right place, Elmore. We will do our best to help you to gather information out. I want to say two things based on what you would have said. China has gone a very far way in implementing their digital currency standard. They have gone paperless. Not today, not last year. They have been doing this for quite some time. There's certain place that you go to make purchase. If you use the American dollar or the Chinese currency, you can't really make a purchase unless you're digital. So there's a lot of change that is taking place in the financial world. However, I do recognize that there is a information gap, a massive information gap, because what you have just said there is going to sound like perhaps rocket science to developing countries, perhaps some middle income economies, because, they haven't even heard about, in well, the populists haven't heard about the metaverse. They haven't heard a lot about, digital currency, and all of these different things and how it's going to affect their lives. So there's a massive information gap. But we'll continue to talk so as to see how much we can break down that information gap and ensure that people can not only react to changes, but they can be more proactive in responding to changes by ensuring that they have the information. They have perhaps their think tankers that are there think tanking positive and negative effects, and you know exactly how to navigate that entire terrain. This is an interesting topic for us to talk about, Elmore, but we really have to dedicate a program and we just do that deep dive into your platform because there's so much that I want to get into with you on the topic, but I don't want to do it now. However, having said all of that, so far we look at a number of things. We look at earned income, we look at passive income, we look at investment income. And here is where I'm going to just free up the program now for you guys to dig in and throw your jabs. Um, One of the challenge that I see here, all right, is the fact that people are not financially literate. it's one of the reasons why people go through so much of financial challenges. As I said earlier, I believe that knowledge of financial intelligence can literally end global poverty. All right, financial intelligence can end global poverty. So the big question is that I want us to look at: how can we affect the change? What is the solution to the challenge? We know that information transfer in terms of what financial intelligence is can fix it, but why this is not happening? Who should we blame? Should we blame, parents, because parents has a responsibility to educate children, so their children can have a better quality of life? Should we put the blame at our global school system? Should our global school system play a role in helping the populace to understand what financial intelligence is, and how they can, leverage this body of knowledge to, alleviate challenges and difficulty that people are going through, because there's so much for us to discuss in the financial intelligence, financial literacy space, that can have so much of positive impact on people's lives. We haven't even talked about group economics. um, for an example, if you can't do it yourself, the fastest way to achieve an objective is to form group economics, and that become a smart way of raising capital and leveraging capital into a range of different things. I mean, are you talking with the mentor, the coach that can say, okay, this are risk associated with this, but this is how we mitigate risk. This is how we overcome. Who do we place the blame at, or do we place the blame at ourselves? All right. I'm going to open it up for you guys to share.
Um,
Shivani. Oh,
Derek,
all right, Peter. Go ahead, Peter.
yeah, may I just say something about the investment part of it? Because a lot of times individuals thinks about investment, and I'm going to come right back to the topic
Yes, no problem. Go ahead.
where individuals might think where they are, and so a person might think, okay, I don't understand what investment is, where it regards to stocks, bonds, real estate, 401k, these kinds of instruments that are paper driven or land driven. Um, um, and they're thinking that there's no way I can become an investor. But in our world, where we empower people to become, to create master plans, once a person begin to design that master plan and they begin to look at their life, the knowledge industry, we will get people to understand in looking at your life. The knowledge industry is one of the fastest growing industries right now, from the standpoint that people has lost confidence in institutions, as you mentioned. Where do we place the blame for a lot of the issues that are happening in our society today? Because the tradition has failed us and has failed us bad. How can somebody be at we're here sitting on this broadcast, and it is only just a few years ago that I really have to take it upon myself to teach myself financial intelligence. My mother didn't know it, so she she couldn't have done it. I went through several years of education, and tertiary, at even the tertiary level, and the persons who were teaching me, they didn't know either. I went to church, spent a lot of years. Most of my life has been in church, and the pastor don't know it. So institutions have failed. All the institutions have failed. But coming back to the point I'm trying to make now, an individual don't understand what investment is, and they are trying to figure out how can they become an investor. Well, what I'm saying and what we teach individuals to understand, that the first investment that you need to make is in yourself. Number one, make investments in yourself by getting the information. You come to a program like this and you hear something that strikes you, hurry up and learn it. Find somebody or call one of us, call Gary, call and learn that thing. Investment in yourself. Second thing, invest in your time. Invest in your time. Your time is the greatest value that you have. And lastly, invest in your knowledge, because you know something. Amidst the failure of institutions, individuals are looking for somebody that they can learn from. I won't go to school to learn it because I don't trust the institution anymore. But I will learn from somebody who is 2 or 3 steps ahead of me, who has experience in that. And so what we tell individuals to do, package that knowledge into a book, package it into a course, put it into a seminar, a conference, put it online. It becomes an investment. If you're investing in real estate, it is a product that somebody is going to manage to give you money passively, or it is working to generate greater amounts of money. Your knowledge can do the very same thing. So, in a nutshell, what we're saying is that the problem also presents the solution, in the sense that the entire institutions, every institution has failed. Church, government, education, parenting, all of it has failed because at this stage in life, we don't have it. But then there is a solution where individuals can invest in themselves and invest their time and learn it.
All right, thanks for that share. I noticed this morning you beat everybody, teachers, government, schools, you beat everybody. Peter, get back to this market. All right, just before I come to Shivani, I want to say this, it's a true statement that you don't know what you don't know. And, and the strange thing would be that if those who are responsible for leading you and empowering you don't know the essential facts that can really empower you. If that is so, it's a dilemma. Um, but you don't know what you don't know. And there's so much of information out there today. And I'm just happy that we are part of the solution and not the problem. We are definitely a part of that solution. Shivani.
Now, coming after Peter, trying not to be to be
It's
quarrelsome,
blows,
right?
blows
Yeah,
today, right?
yeah. So because I am the one like that. I am the quarrelsome person in this group, right? The controversial.
Okay.
Now, in terms of, it's the same thing we keep saying. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. School system, curriculum design is it teaching you how to really become more financially independent, huh? How to have financial freedom? Or is it teaching you to go get a job, save your money, and then retire, right? And live within your means and save and all those great things and put away 10% and all of that. Remember, that is how the majority of people originally taught and they think, right? That's what we know. And when you have people like me who don't really believe in that, you might fall out with me because I don't believe that you have to stay in a job forever and wait to get that money or what we say your pension, etc. But we're not as who was saying, I think Franca or Peter was saying, you're not telling people to leave their jobs, but you are now telling them how to make more money away from the organization. You're not waiting for it. And knowledge will only give you that. So it is really a mindset, of what you know, of what you have learned, of who you have associated with. Because you learn by association. You learn by association. Associate with people that can change your mindset if you want to change it, because change management is a hell of a thing, right? With everybody is different. Something you said with financial intelligence, I just wanted to throw out. It's such a good term because it makes you more intelligent, right? Because the term
Yeah.
that a lot of persons will say, if you go and you do a course in how to save, you'll talk about financial literacy. But that is a line that should change. It's not financial literate, but it's financial intelligent. How do you move from making a person just financial literate to becoming now financial intelligence. So it is, I always like to talk about movement. How do you evolve? So the term financial literacy, you have to evolve. So a lot of persons may know a little bit about financial literacy. You need to have money and right. But how do you make that money grow? How do you scale it up? And that is where financial intelligence comes in. And this is where the coaching and the mentoring and the ideation comes in. Now you have to have a certain mindset, and I tell people you could develop it. So just yesterday, I was sharing with my persons that there's a lot of disconnect, right? When people are disconnect with one another in teams. But I believe the leader of all organizations, or whether you're running a team, whatever it is, you're supervising, you're managing, you're leading, you can empower people. So the 99% of the times, the person leading you do not know these things. And when you do not know these things, you cannot teach other persons. So leaders firstly need to learn how to do it. And then you could lead the people in your organizations to give them financial freedom. Because think about if you in your organization, so let's say working in your organization, and you taught me how to sell cake and how to make more money. You know how my life will be made easier? My life will be made easier because you're not going to come to me and say, I want promotion, I want more money, I want this, I want that. So leaders now they have to learn it for themselves because many times you don't know too how to become more financial intelligent and how to teach the people that you are working with how they could become more financial intelligent. And then cohesiveness could even come better for better productivity for your organization because people working, they come to do what they have to do and they know, hey, I could do other things as well. I know about my passive income, I know about this investment, crypto, a financial intelligence. So, 3 points that I wanted to contribute here: the leader of the organization, and when we say leader, whether you're the middle manager, whosoever, you have a responsibility to people. You have to guide them properly. You have to learn to become financial intelligence yourself because you will be preaching a different thing to your people. And then once people understand they are going to do it, it is even going to help the entire organization because people now going to be happy when they have money. When you have money, people happy, right? And
Yep.
it's going to increase productivity as well. So it's another spin to it that I found.
All right. All right. Thanks for that share, Shivani. Just to contribute a little bit to what you would have said, and then I'm going to come to Frank and then Elmore. Learning private equity investment, studying global financial market, I think it was a game changer because you tend to recognize that a lot of what is being done in the financial world in terms of annual budgetary allocation of funds to projects, it tend to go out as a gift, all right, with no return in grants. You see that with the right private equity investor on your side, that can be a seed being planted that has lifetime financial rewards. So as Shivani speaks about financial intelligence, there's so much of depth to what she's saying. The second point that I want to make is that I wish if these days was the old days. I got Caribbean style. I wish if these days was the old days. In the old days, you go to school, you get a good education, you get a good job, and you could earn. I mean, I listening to some of my old folks' friends, they would say, they purchased their house for 50 cents, $50. $50. That's back in the days. I wish if the old days was the nowadays. So today things has changed tremendously. In a couple of years you could have worked or you could have saved up that $50, and go make that purchase. And today the landscape is different. While the landscape is different, there's a lot of things that we have maintained the social norm in, and one of those things being how we educate our people. All right, so that too has to change. And I want to just put Elmer into this. When we listen to Elmer, Depending on where you are in the world, you might have, he's talking another language. All right. He is talking another language. And I think that what you have to do in terms of, ensure that you're up to date is to ensure that you're part of an environment that has normalized his way of talking. So what he's saying is normal, and financial intelligence in of itself is another language for most people, and you want to make sure that you have normalized your knowledge of this, and that's why we're keeping, hosting these platform is to whet your appetite, step by step. We're not going deep into it because if you think this is going deep, this is nothing at all. We're
Yeah.
not getting wrapped up. It's nothing at all. I see Albert is shaking his head because he knows it. All right, I'm going to come to Frank. Then I'm going to come to Peter and Elmore, and then we're going to start doing some quick wrap up. Frank, talk
Hi.
to me.
I
Let us
always like I
let
always
us
like to come
spill
back
some
to
blows. Who we putting the blame at? I taking the blame. I taking the blame. Right? You can.
you can't handle that pressure. It's going to be stressful. But
All right.
yes, like Peter said, we've been failed in every aspect. I taught in school, and though I taught economics, I have never taught my students um, financial intelligence or financial literacy because the textbooks use is strategic for you understanding how the economy works, how funds and market. But no one has ever sat and say, you know what, think outside the box. What I did, however, kind of caused me trouble. Is that if we look at economics and we're looking at the manufacturing sector, for example, what I would have done is let the students have a practical experience of what it does. So you put them in places like um, Banks DIH, take them to Trinidad, let them look at the manufacturing sector, like the cement factory and stuff, and they get um, a little hands-on experience of what goes on in the real world from the theory of economics. I always go back to this saying, give a man a fish and you'll satisfy him today. But if you teach a man how to fish, he will be hungry. And I'm glad that we are here educating listeners. One thing, you have a lot of persons who are leading and who don't have financial intelligence. What we don't realize is that leadership requires a broad range of skills, and that includes financial literacy and intelligence. And it's essential for leaders to make strategic decisions can drive the organization's success. Many leaders lack the requisite knowledge to analyze financial data confidently, and even me. And this knowledge gap can hinder your ability to make informed decisions that have long-term impacts. So experts like you is necessary to bridge this knowledge gap. Because we see leaders need more than just talking. They need to be having that experience um, from mentorship, from education, from just being able to be in that situation where you know what, this is a door into the financial world that you need to understand. They need a practical understanding of financial concepts such as what are financial statements, what are ratios, what are the tools to navigate attack complex financial challenges. Incorporating financial intelligence is crucial for organizations for their survival for growth, especially in today's world. And so we need to understand what are the key components and strategy as leaders. Because it involves a set of skills and knowledge necessary for making what we consider informed and effective financial decisions. And as a leader, developing financial intelligence is critical for strategic planning and ensuring long-term success of your business or the organization in which you serve. So you have to have an understanding of financial, what is the financial statements, how to analyze financial data, interpreting financial ratios, using those tools and techniques. You got to be taught, you got to be coached, you got to be mentored. And I think this probably brings us space where people get an understanding how to unlock the success through financial intelligence. This has become
All right.
what we call indispensable skill that will help leaders make informed decisions or to allocate resources and manage the risk effectively.
All right. Thanks for your share, Frank. A lot of great points. I want to come now to Elmore. Then we're going to come to Peter. We're going to start to wrap up shortly. Elmore,
Yes.
who should we blame? Who should we blame?
So
I
I
would
have
normally say blame is. Go ahead.
I have an
Mommy, daddy.
idea.
Okay.
I have an idea. I want to piggyback of what you said earlier, that
Yeah.
we wish we were back in the old days, and when you spoke about being able to purchase a house for $50, and having those opportunities. We tend to reminisce on, man, if we would have been this old back then, how much more we could have accomplished with the knowledge that we have. But I think that the blame goes to purchasing power. I think that purchasing power is the one to blame here, and this is something that I feel is super important for everyone to understand when I say that I blame purchasing power, and and to put it into perspective, I tend to use my hands a lot when I speak, so I apologize about that. But
That's all right.
to explain better purchasing power between the regular money system and the cryptocurrency system, where you have to be understanding of history. And so when we look at any time in history we have had any sort of central currency, uh, we tend to have purchasing power decline, and this happens as time goes because of the
Inflation.
having inflation, and the inflation comes from printing too much out of the currency that's available and things of that sort, and then you start to inflate the whole entire world. Well, this purchasing power is the one that causes this, and it happens as time goes by. We are in a moment in history to where our purchasing power has been lost, to the point that in order for us to be able to purchase that $50 home back in 1980, we now need to have several hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so we might think, like, how come has this taking place in the world, and how is it that we have to work so much, and gain so much more currency to be able to gain the same things that our great grandparents were able to gain for a week's worth of work, in today's earning. Purchasing power is the issue. So now that I say that, we have to understand that every currency in the world, and this is for every government that has a currency, we're going to have a decline on the purchasing power of your currency. When you start to have this declivage, it comes to a certain point. Like, I'm pretty sure people here understand Zimbabwe, and recently what happened in Lebanon, and and also what happened in Nigeria with people not wanting the CBDC and going through the whole entire process of the very last resort after inflation is to switch the model. And that's when you literally get to either get it exchange one to one, but you have to fall into this new system. This had happened already before in the U.S. A lot of people don't think that this has happened, but this took place in 1971, to where we have to exchange from a uh, asset-backed currency to a debt-based currency. And so these are many of the different things that I talk about that I understand that it sounds sometimes like I'm speaking in different language, but this is who I blame, and this is the one that I think is the one who wins the prize for the way that the world works today, and for us, for the many that have the lack of that simple fact that purchasing power, it's a problem, and we need to understand how to get over the purchasing power problem. And if we find place that we can invest and make our purchasing power grow as we are investing, where's that place and how can I get in? So this is, yes, having those sort of things out there. I think it kind of gets people intrigued, but definitely I blame purchasing power.
Great point, and I agree with you. I want to take you up on purchasing power and fixing the purchasing power. I do believe because of global inflation, and there's so many factors in the world today that's is causing inflation to take place. The trouble in the Red Sea, the various, wars that we have, Russia and Ukraine, Hamas and Israel. America just joined it. There are so many different scenario that is creating, uh, you know, inflation to take place. But on the point of purchasing power, I do believe that group economics can fix purchasing power very quick. But to add to the equation, once you would have get past that purchasing power challenge, you want to be certain that you're making a valid purchase. And that hinted on what you would have talked about. The valid purchase is a purchase that is not a liability, it's an asset. It's going to give you cash flow, continuous cash flow, and set you up for success. Elmore, as I tell you, when you talk, we got so much to talk about, buddy. We can open up this thing and expand this thing in so many different directions. All right, but I love what you would have said. Brilliant. All right,
Thank you.
I want to come to Peter, then we're going to go around the room for some closing remarks. Peter, all to you.
Yeah, I like the concept Elmer mentioned a while ago of the moving back, and I'm just going to add this to it: moving back to an asset base um, portfolio. Since we're talking about habits and money and investments, moving back to from an asset to an asset based portfolio from a debt base, or even to put it the way asset based mind an asset based mindset from a credit based mindset. Um, and when I say credit, speaking or debt, let me move away from credit to say debt, because we live in the way how people think, right? The way how people think in terms of what they have and what they don't have. And what we want to empower individuals to understand that you have enough. No matter what you think you don't have, you do have enough. So the credit based, debt based mindset, thinking that I need to go get it from somebody else. I need to go borrow what somebody else. I need to imitate somebody else, when they do not realize that the originality of their existence is something that somebody else is seeking to have. Somebody is lacking in what you have. And when you begin to package what you have and now utilize that and find somebody who needs what you have. And then, as you mentioned, Gary, we go into the group dynamics or the group economics, where we're all exchanging, from the asset. And you like talk about having a value that somebody value. When we do realize now that we do have every individual have immense value. So your master plan, and we always point back people that do your analysis to find what you do have, and package it, because somebody else is hungry for what you think is not really of quite much value.
All right, thanks for that share, Peter, and you're right. We all have value, and we just need to commit to it. We all have a gem inside of us. Sometimes you just have to find it and polish it and make it relevant to people. And there's where you have to do that deep dive. So I want you to believe in yourself, people. You have what it takes to be great, but you got to become hungry. In the word of Les Brown, right? You got to become hungry for success. All right, I'm going to start with Frank. I'd love to get your closing remarks. Anything that I did not ask, please take the time now to share that as we wrap up.
All right. Um, Again, from a leadership standpoint, must realize that those leaders who possess financial intelligence, they are the ones that have or could have a significant advantage in the business world. You see, by unlocking the power of financial intelligence, one of the things that can happen, well, a few things can happen. The leaders can make informed decisions. They can allocate resources effectively, manage risk, and even communicate with stakeholders in a credible and trustworthy manner. So this is a reason why it is essential for every leader to develop financial intelligence skills, and this will allow them to have a to achieve long-term success for the organization. Um, Leaders have got to learn how to unlock that potential financial intelligence. You see, not just that it be a valuable skill which can help the leader achieve personal and career success, but it involves having the knowledge, what in Ghana we call the savvy, to make informed decisions about money management and investment strategies. And for a lot of us, financial intelligence is a lifelong pursuit. But one thing you must know, it's never too late to start learning and applying the key principles. And that's my take.
All right, thanks for that share. I want to come now to Peter and then to Giovanni.
All right. So just I think I want to say address what to be blamed for the vanity of humanity to be financially illiterate, not understanding how money works. I think it has to do with the nature of man, the nature of man, basic. Because what we do find is the chaos. Those persons who actually designed the the current system of education. It was designed in the industrial age, and it was designed by individuals who wanted to keep the populace in the factories to produce their to man their operation. But the nature of man is designed in such a way whereby the there and we talk about mastery, master planning, and the flip side of mastery is that sometimes the basic um, nature of human is try to master over human, and we speak about all the war, the crime that is happening in our world. What the very core of it is the human nature. But if when we begin to realize that we can change that and we cannot leave our in the hand of somebody else who may or may not have our interest at heart, then we have to not leave our lives to be planned by somebody else. So we want to encourage individuals again to design your future, design your destiny. Look at your life for what it is, where you are today. Understand that if you don't do it, nobody else might do it for you. Maybe somebody you love, somebody special in your life will want to, throw it back to say, hey, you need to do this or that. But we ought to be mindful of somebody else but our own. And that is going to start with a master plan. Start with somebody looking, creating a blueprint where you want to go in the days and weeks and months. So do that. Do that. Reach out to somebody if you don't know. Get some collaboration, some consultation, some coaching, and begin to set that wheel in motion. That a year from now, you look back today and you're saying, I'm glad that I listened to that competitive edge. Look at my life where it is today.
Thanks for that share, Peter. Great share, great share. Shivani.
So, to wrap it up, financial, not literacy, but financial
Intelligent.
intelligence. How to become more financial intelligence? Once you understand the three different ways, passive, not you may not understand in detail, but you understand this is the way to do it. Passive, what's the other one that I wrote down? You said
Investment and earned.
investment and earn. You must have a strategy for this, which is your project management strategy. Your project management strategy, and I'll speak about it from an agile approach, where you know, okay, this is what I'm going to do now, and probably within a sprint, a 2 to 4 week planning, how much money can I get from that, and I can roll into different investments, etc. So project management, strategic thinking, whether it is agile or not, which is part of the PM framework, can definitely assist you to become more financial intelligent. It's an excellent way to do it. Once you implement and you start to think in a PM world, you would definitely get this. These two things really go hand in hand. That's it for me.
All right, thanks for that share, Shivani. Shivani is definitely a project management expert, and I want to say this: whatever dreams and goals, aspiration you have for yourself, I want to show you that project management plays a tremendous role in helping you to see through that process and manage the process to attain better outcome. And that's where her skill set comes in. Thanks for that share, Shivani. My good friend, uh, the cryptocurrency specialist, all to you, my friend. Your closing remarks.
Yes, no, I am very excited to be able to be here and have the conversation about the different aspects of what's going on within the financial world, and how I'm able to provide some value, in hopefully, this is going to be, um, a space that would develop more in for the community, because I feel like this is one of those spaces that is being misunderstood by the misinformation, and I think that once people start to see through the real things that are happening that are completely unaware of, because this is it seems to be sort of like taboo information that it's not commonly known, but it's
Yeah.
definitely information that is common, at least to me is common, and I definitely love to share and provide the perspective so that people could make their financial changes, in a smart and obviously mitigating the risk, which it was another one of the big things that I wanted to touch base on. But yes, this is amazing. I'm excited to be here. Again, I want to thank you guys, for allowing me to be on the platform, and I'm gonna close with that. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that share, Elmore. And I want to say to the public that Elmore, he's really passionate about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and this aspect of the financial world because he knows from his advantage point how much it can position you for financial greatness. What he has done, he has not only studied this for many years, but he has now written a book on the subject matter. And the reason he has written that book is to provide you with a platform to get information where they say information is power. But I know that these guys are here also to work with you to help you to apply the information where you're going to get your superpower. And that's why we're here. So I really trust that you enjoyed today's program. Now, in conclusion, I just want to say a couple of things. We tend to get into the blame game a whole lot. I'm talking to the public, but a couple of things that I want to say. If you're not aware of what we're talking about, you can't blame anyone. All right. Now that you're aware, you can blame multiple persons. But let me say this, the best person for you to blame is yourself, because you can hold yourself accountable for taking action right now to open a new page, a new chapter in your life to get the information, all right, and take the practical step to transform your life. And that's why we're here. Not to give you a pat on the back and support you when you're blaming mommy, daddy, uncle, or aunt, or any system. You can do that, but now you're aware of what is possible. Blame yourself, first of all, because you can empower yourself to take the right action to change your reality. And guess what? You have Shivani here to help you. You have Frank here to help you. You have Elmore here to help you. You have Peter here to help you to make better financial decision. And we have developed a very unique platform. We call it the High Net Worth Investors Guide. And what the High Net Worth Investors Guide does, it really helps you to understand how to prepare yourself for success. It helps you to understand how to apply yourself after success. It helps you to understand how to manage wealth when you attain wealth. And you don't want to be complacent with wealth. You want to also figure out very quickly, very early in the game, how to expand wealth. And the High Net Worth Investor Guide is here to do that for you. So no more blame game. Blame yourself. All right. The best thing that the best thing that you could ever do is to blame yourself and hold yourself accountable from that point. That has moving forward. Say to yourself, I'm taking my life in my hands. I'm molding and shaping my life into what I want it to be. And the only thing that can stop me is me. All right. So I trust that the audience across the world would have enjoyed today's program. Today, we really had an in-depth topic, and today we talk about habits and money. And I'm happy that Elmore did join us to bring a different flavor to the financial intelligence conversation. And we're looking forward to have more of Elmore so he can begin to now shape people's understanding of what it takes to be a smart investor in the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space. We have a lot to learn from this young man. So, with that being said, I want to thank everyone for being here today. And we'll do this again tomorrow. So, do enjoy, and looking forward to see you here tomorrow, same time. And I want to say thanks to my panelists, Frank, Shivani, Peter, Elmore. Thanks for taking the time for be here today. It has been such a pleasure spending the first, hours in the morning with you guys. See you guys soon.
Bye.
All right, we are